Hi there everybody, so welcome to another First Look Friday video, and today we're going to look at this Savoia Marchetti SM79 model kit in 1/72 scale. Let's go. So this is it. This is the from Airfix Vintage Classics, the Savoia Marchetti SM79 model kit in 1/72 scale. And yeah, this is a most interesting looking kit, most interesting looking airplane in my view, which is the main reason why I bought it. It is May, as I recall this, May 5th actually. Curious enough, I was at a Star Wars convention, or Star Wars event yesterday, May the 4th, across there in Hull. I'll put a link to the photographs if you're interested on my Flickr site down below. I decided that back to the kit. I decided that this kit is going to be one of the Rebel Fantasy Squadron planes. And it's not going to be a Rebel aircraft. It's going to be an Imperial vehicle, because it does look quite menacing and imperial in my opinion. So yeah, won't tell you exactly what it's going to be representing, but imperial should get you a good clue at least. Anyway, let's take a look at the box. Savoia Marchetti SM79 Vintage Classic. So this is an old kit. Nice painting of two vehicles there, or three actually, 4, 5, 6, all dropping bombs on ships. I just watched a documentary of this vehicle made by I think it was what's his name now? Oh, my memory's so bad. Yeah, Rex's Hangar YouTube channel. I'll link again below to that that particular video. He talks about this, and it goes quite in depth as to the history and service of this vehicle. An Italian airplane that started off as a transport vehicle, cargo and such, but because it was quite fast, the military decided that they could use it as a bomber, so it was converted to do that job, and then it went back to being a transport back and forth. Some other countries in Europe decided to buy it. At least one country bought it. Well, they decided that they only needed the 2 engines, so they lost the nose engine, and then they started complaining that, oh, it's not powerful enough with just those 2 engines. So that's why it has 3. Anyway, that's watch Rex's Hangar video. Watch Rex's video, and all will become clear. Another thing, the name Savoia Marchetti. The first time I came across that name was with this airplane, Savoia S2F, S21F, which is the Porco Rosso airplane. This is the final. This is the fine molds video, the Porco Rosso. I do believe I've already had a look at this, so I shall put a link to that below if you want to look at that airplane, or rather get my opinions of that particular model kit from Fine Molds. That's the 1/48 scale. I've got the 1/72 scale, so I've done at least one of those, so I shall link one or both below, depending on if I remember which one I did do. That does make sense. Anyway, let's get back to this kit. As I mentioned before, Airfix Vintage Classics. Down below here it tells you what it is in various languages. So on this side you've got various warnings and stuff in multiple languages. Over here, Hornby Hobbies, blah blah blah, barcode, etc. On this end, it's basically the cover art squashed into the space. On this side, oh, they do it this way, Airfix, don't they? On this side we have a bit of information about the vehicle, or rather more accurately about this kit. Both actually. Mold tools were made in 1967. Illustration by Roy Cross, also 1967. So yeah, they're coming clean as to exactly how old this model kit is. Over here it tells you to use some Humbrol stuff, which may or may not use. I don't think I'll use it. And on this end you got precisely the same image that you have on the other end. On the back, just a cardboard, a little sticker there, which is of no interest to me or you or anyone. Right then, so I bought this on eBay. It is like pretty much a brand new kit, all sealed and stuff. So hopefully it has been hanging around for so long. I'm not sure which boxing this is. I know it is a fairly recent boxing. I know because it says Vintage Classic, so it could be sometime within the past 10 years, if not sooner. So that light is getting. Maybe I need to figure something out with that light. Anyway, let us open up the box and take a look at what's inside the box. Yeah, let's open the box. First time opening, isn't it? Okay. Right. Big bag of plastic. Big plastic bag with all the plastic within it, all running around. Extra plastic bag for the clear part, so that's a good thing. And looks like one of the parts has come off the screw, but all in all, looks okay. And I've got a little pile of paperwork here, so yeah, let's take a look at the paperwork. So I've moved things about a bit. I've decided to do a bit of tidying on the desk here, so you're not going to see it, but you know, hopefully it's made life easier for me. You know, for example, I've moved the monitor for you over there, so you know, gives a bit of better physical alliteration. I'll put the decals to the side for the moment, and let's zoom in on the paperwork. So big folded Airfix instructions. So I do believe these are new instructions. They're not the same as the old instructions. If you remember the previous Fast Look Friday we did, which was a proper vintage Airfix kit that had what the instructions used to look like back in the 1970s, late 1960s. So here it tells us some of a short history about this airplane. Here you have it in English, French, German, Spanish and Swedish. So the Savoia Marchetti SM79 Sparhawk was Italian's main medium bomber of the Second World War and one of the most effective bombers operated by Axis forces. So yeah, I'm surprised the Germans didn't decide to take hold of it, but I guess they had their own. Well, they did actually have their own bombs. Anyway, have a good read of that if you want to. Pause and read. If you want to look at, if you're fluent in all these different languages, you've got 5 there to choose from. 6, 5. Yeah. Anyway, over the page. Build instructions. Now, actually at first glance at all this, it could be that this is basically exactly the same instructions, but reprinted to fit this size of paper. So over here you got assembly instructions. So basically this is your study drawings, practice assembly before cementing parts. So basically things to do before you assemble it, your basics. Over here you got assembly icon instructions, which are newer than different from the previous one, almost. Assembly phase, the circle, the white circle, cement, black square. Do not cement together. White, black and white circle. Symmetrical assembly. I think it's the other. See, symmetrical assembly is question mark. Usually the question mark is alternative parts where you got options for different ones. So I'll keep that in mind. Oh, I've got it wrong, haven't I? So yeah, so this half triangle here, right angle triangle, is assembly phase number, which is 1, 2. Now I'm getting it right. Yeah. What am I doing? Anyway, and the white circle, cement, square, black square, do not cement, symmetrical assembly, black and white circle, alternative parts is the question mark. Let's get it right. Repeat this function, x2, or however many times you need to repeat it. And got all the other bits here, so things that you may not need, cut things off, drill, So these are fairly straightforward, I'd wait and so. And right, let's get into build phase. Let's do some folding here. Right, and so right down here we have the build phases 1 and 2. We start at the cockpit, as is traditional. So you got 3 crew members into the cockpit there. Not particularly all that detailed, but good enough. Section 2, you're putting the cockpit you just built and some other pieces inside the vehicle, and then putting the fuselage all together. Build section 3 and 4 over the page. So build section 3 is build section 3 and 4 are assembling the wings. 3 is the right side wing, 4 is the left side wing, port side wing, if you like. There's a little drawing down here to show you what it should look like, I guess, when you've assembled these pieces. So this is with the gear down. Does it have the option for gear up? Not yet, but we'll see. Section 5, you're assembling the engines. So you've got all 3 engines, all different parts, it appears. So you'd think the propeller would all be the same numbers, identical parts, but they're all given different numbers. So So anyway, we've got 3 engines to assemble. Stick them to their appropriate points on the nose and on the wings. So you've got assembly phases shown for the wings and so on. Down here, going to section 6 and 7. So 6 is all the tailplanes and tail fins and stuff. So put them all together. Section 7 is applying the armaments, which here appears to be torpedoes. So this is the torpedo version. You've got this bit here, which is the bomb aimer's turret, which is in a place that was not particularly not the best place to put it, because normally it would be down in the front, but you've got the engine in the way. So what do you do? Put it back there. So yeah, so all the little pieces, widgets and greeblies to put on the wings and that, which I like to see as last, including like little things like the pitot tubes and so on. So that's the complete assembly. So here, let's zoom out a bit. We have paint guys in full color, which is great. So this shows the one marking color supplied, which is a interesting camouflage. A sort of brown and earth tones airbrush type finish, with underneath being the light grey. So because this is the new version, or the new boxing rather, the instructions has the full colour thing, so that shows how more recent it is. How recent this boxing is, well, we'll find out at the end when I have a look at the thing. And yeah, but that's nice. Fairly well laid out, easy to understand. If you like exploded diagrams and stuff, so there you go. And there you have it. That's the instructions. So next thing we're going to have a look at is the decals. Decal should be in place here. These are brand new decals. I know they're brand new because they look brand new. Savoia Marchetti SM79. So I'm not sure what this is. This is Spanish Civil War or something. I say that because I've seen other airplanes that were in the Spanish Civil War and they had this kind of thing. So maybe this is the Spanish version. I'm just looking at what it says there. It doesn't say. Maybe I should have read what it says at the top here. No, this is Italy. Savoia Marchetti Supervero Spaviero rather. This is the 259 Squadriglia 104 degree Gruppo Autonomo AS, all sorts of stuff in Italian. So this is like the Italian aircraft. So I'm not sure what this marking is. Maybe I should learn. But yeah, the decals look very nice actually. I'm wondering if these are made in Italy. Doesn't say anything about the production of the decals actually. You just got a few decals here which look very good. I quite like that you got the control panel for the aircraft there as well in the canopy form. And yeah, Okay, very nice decals. Put them aside and let's get on with all the other plastic bits. Looking for some tape. Where's the tape? This is what happens when you tidy up. Everything suddenly disappears. Got a little bit of tape to hold this thing on here. That'll do. Right then, let's take a look at some plastic. So then, just picking sprues at random here. This one is the first one, number side on this side, and as you can possibly plainly see, I don't know if you can plainly see, but this is the sprue with engines. So this is the engine sprue. I've got one propeller there. The 3 engine covers, housings, or the actual engine parts. Nearly broke that. Actual engine parts there. 3 engines with 714, 2 banks of 7 radial engines, some bulkheads there, and bits for the wings. There is a flash on the edges of these ones, which is should come off fairly easily with a quick swipe of a knife or whatever tool you're using to do that. That's the holes in the engines there are all different, slightly different sizes. I don't know if that's the plan or if the mouldings were not that brilliantly made. You could say that well, that was 1967. You know, I'm sure they could make good mouldings in 1967, albeit a bit more not as easily as it did now. But there you go. You also got flash on the back end of these engines. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to change the background to something a bit more useful so that we can see what we're doing. Bear with me a moment. Let's sort this out at the beginning. I haven't got a clean one handy, unfortunately, but yeah, that's not to do. How we're looking. There you go. Now at least the camera knows what to focus on. So I've just told you what these pieces are. So yeah, let's have a just quick look at them. So the numbered on the other side, the numbers range from number 9 all the way to number 84. So it looks like a rather random set of numbering for the parts, but being Airfix, old days Airfix, basically the pieces are numbered in the order that they're applied onto the kit. So that would be why. Anyway, that is that sprue. Here we have another sprue, all with numbers and so on. Get right side up. Another propeller on this one. You got a couple of torpedoes on this one, or rather one torpedo. I guess the other one would be here, so it's, have a look. I guess that's where it goes. It's looking very bright out there. Let's make some changes. It's going to get a bit darker. There you go. So again, pretty much same as before. Being new plastic, it's all very nicely clean and so on, because it hasn't been rattling around the box for a couple of decades. But on the other hand, being an older mold, you do have areas of flash. The propeller, for example, is suffering from a bit of that. There you go. Camera can see it. Ooh, fabulous. The wheels look very good actually. No need for resin replicas for that one, in my opinion. These pieces are part of the undercarriage bay, I think, and of course the torpedoes themselves. 2 torpedoes. Yeah, so the parts that don't have flash look quite beautiful, all very nicely molded. But again, age is a problem with this one. So you know, introducing a bit of flash here and there. Again, nothing that can't be cleaned up fairly easily, but it can be a bit annoying at times. But then, you know, it's part of the hobby. Yeah, I shall put these away and go on to the next sprue. Third sprue, this time with another propeller. The propeller on this one is actually very clean. Very little flash on it. Still will need a bit of cleanup, but there you go. Lots of tiny little pieces, internal parts, cockpit interior parts. Tail wheel there, looking tiny. 3 crew members. They look like they're doing some sort of dance. There you go. Yeah, struts, I believe, for the tail fins, tail wings, whatever. Some armament there, large machine guns, 1, 2, undercarriage, yeah. All the little groovy bits that stick inside the airplane and on the outside bits as well. And crew complement. So yeah, we've got parts here numbering all the way from 21 up to, let me see, 101. So all various numbers. So that is that sprue. On to another one. So we're moving to the larger parts as we go on. So this sprue, you've got the numbers, let me see, the numbers on the back side of the parts, because all these are the reverse side of it, the unimportant side of it, which is why they look a bit scrappy. But the flats, and it looks like they're going to go together fairly well. On this side you've got the exterior parts, raised lines, raised panel lines. Well, I say panel lines, they're not, strictly speaking, they're not panel lines, they're canvas lines or whatever. Bits for the top, I believe that is part of the top of the aircraft. This is the bomb sighter's gondola, which sits underneath the aircraft. That's the main crew compartment, and it's a shame they haven't got the 4th crew member who will be in this piece under the aircraft. So, but anyway, you've got the propeller nose bits there, and those also could use a bit of cleanup, but it's not going to be, it's not something that's going to be all that noticeable. So it's going to be fine. Yeah, so it looks like all the pieces are on this one. Just looking in the box, I don't see any of the spare pieces, that any small pieces hanging around, so I think we're good so far. So yeah, this is a sprue with numbers all the way from 22 up to 78, not inclusive. No, wait, that's number 3 over here. So 3 to 78. There you go. That is that sprue. So let's go into these parts. This is the fuselage. So these pieces appear, were they molded together? Quite possibly. And externally they look fine. They're not all that spectacular, but you know, one likes to give these things allowances for the age of the mold making, or for the age of the molds rather. And apart from, again, a bit of light flash on the edges, mold lines, which will be fairly easily removed, everything looks okay. Still got the not going to go together because those sprue bits get in the way, but let's just see what will. If the top, I'm guessing, looking at that, we're gonna need to be some cleanup required to allow this to fit properly. The alignment I can see already on the front there isn't all that, so you can see that just right in the middle there where my finger's pointing at, if you get it. So the alignment is going to need to be, there's going to need to be some adjustments made to make sure it lines up properly. So So I could take this off, but I don't want to because a very big screw connector, so I don't want to cut them off. But anyway, these are parts 14 and 15, numbers on the inside there, if you can even see it. That's part 14, this one's 15. So that's the fuselage. Again, as I mentioned before, the edges will require a bit of cleanup. You can see there. Aside from that, the surface is fine. These lines, I say panel lines, they're not strictly panel lines, but they're lines that are raised, which I think there would be on the real aircraft. I'm not certain about that because I haven't seen the real aircraft, but it seems how it would have been made. So there you go. Those are the main fuselage. And now we have some wings, some wing parts which are all loose. This can get you all in. So effectively what I have here, the top and bottom part of the wings. The wings are all two-part wings. That's the underside, that's the top side, which I'm sure you've figured out already. And again, they look quite fine. Let's see how well they go together. Yeah, so once they're glued together, you're going to need to do a bit of a cleanup around the edges to smooth the join. But yeah, I think they're going to go together pretty well. Don't know if I'm going to need to, no. So it's one of those things where it'll be better to glue it together first and then clean off the flash, which runs pretty much the entire length of the wing, certainly across the front anyway. So a little bit of sanding on that bit would be necessary. Also probably clean up these flashes here because they're going to go up against the fuselage, so that will need cleaning up. I think I'll do those areas before I assemble the wings. Apart from that, I like the fact that the fit is quite positive, mainly because of the this part here locks into that part there, and it yeah, as soon as I put it together I noticed that it just went together really well. So yeah, it's pretty good. So that'll be the starboard side wing. Does port side wing go together well? Yeah, but this wing does look a bit cleaner than the other one, so it's all looking very good with the wings. So apart from a bit of on the back here, we're going to need to smooth that down a bit, and also the join there is a bit, yeah, it's not very good, so that will need probably a bit of cleanup and sanding to get that to fit better, but and a bit of filler maybe. So you've got also that space there, which is for the ailerons or flap or whatever these things are called. Now there's little holes on either end of it, so I'm not sure if, let's see what it says. 46, yeah, it says do not cement together up here, so which is the black square, do not cement. So it looks like it is intended for the flaps to be movable, which is fine, I guess. But anyway, these are the wing parts. Do it like that. And last but not least, we got the clear parts. Let's get you all the way down here. Safety first, so yeah, be careful. This is a plastic wrapper. Keep it away from babies and children. Well, there's none of those here, so I think we're safe. Scissors. So what do we have here? So yeah, sig marks across these window parts. Sig marks. Yeah, don't know if I can we see them clearly. You can see right in the middle of those little rectangles that there's like what is a little depression. So the mouldings, so that basically the thickness of the part has left a sink mark right in the middle of these bits, these rectangular bits, and these pieces here. So effectively, in my opinion, they're a bit too thick for what they need to be, but there you go. The main canopy there itself looks pretty good actually. Nice and shiny, glossy finish. Not the best. It's can you see through it? Can you read through it? I'll let you be the judge of that. Yeah, it's not too bad from a close distance. As the subjects inside are going to be fairly close to the glass, I think that'll be fine. These ones, well, there isn't going to be anything on the other side of these windows, so I think we'll be fine. So yeah, on the whole, not too bad. And there you have it. So that is the Savoia Marchetti SM79 Vintage Classics kit from Airfix. So while it is an old kit, I'm fairly certain it looks like the parts are going to go together fairly well. So as somebody who did build Airfix kits back in the the early 70s, even as a kid in Uganda back in the early 70s, you could get Western products like Airfix kits. It wasn't until later on in the late 70s that all those things began to disappear. But yeah, looks like I'm gonna have a bit of fun building this kit. I'm looking at the image here, and there is what you call it, rigging. Well, it'll be an aerial, not rigging, so an aerial line across the top of the vehicle, and got these two little rigging lines across the tail. So I guess I need to buy some what you call that stuff. I've got a link somewhere. Oh, it's on the phone. Yeah, I've got it in my Amazon basket, so probably pick up some of that when I'm ready to build this. Oh, another model that requires it, but that's beside the point. So yeah, as I mentioned before, this kit is going to be part of the Rebel Squadron. Imperial, yes, yeah. And it does look the part, really, in my opinion. You can quite easily imagine Darth Vader piloting a vehicle that looks like this, because it does look like Darth Vader, in my opinion. So there you go. Anyway, that's the point. Or it is the point. Anyway, that is the Savoia Marchetti SM79. Let's take a quick look at, if I can get to the computer. Let me see there. Get rid of that. Open that up. So bear with me a moment. This may take a few seconds. Oh, I've got one open already. Okay, start recording. So let's find the particular model I'm interested in. New box 2020. So that's our box, as you can see here. New box in 2020 for the Savoia Marchetti. What is different? Nothing really. It's exactly the same as it was back in 1967. Decals are really the only different thing, and the design of the box, the markings are different. But yeah, this is a 1967 model kit, reboxed in 2020, which is what you can see here. So there you go. Neat and tidy, straight to the point. So there we go. So that is yeah, again, that's a Savoia Marchetti. Have you built this kit? Is this one that has passed through your hands recently, or any time soon? Yeah, or any time in the past? And if it hasn't, is there a kit that you feel you'd like to build? Let me know down below. You get talking about it. And thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, tell your friends. If you didn't like it, tell me why. Help me make a better video for the future. And thank you so much for watching. Once more, take a look at the Rex's Hangar video, link below. He'll tell you pretty much everything you need to know about this airplane. And yeah, that is all for today. Happy modelling, everybody, and take care.